Yeah, I have all these projects that I have hopefully another hour and a half for each one.
Right. Would you please acknowledge yourself for showing up, for making it? Would you acknowledge these other brave souls in the room? Give it up to each other. Yeah. So let's just take about 30 seconds of silence to just kind of bring our energies into the room for the course of love. And kind of decide within yourself if this is honestly somewhere you really want to be right now. And if it's not, it's perfectly okay for you to leave. I swear it'll be okay with me. So the only instructions are, you can believe it or not. Okay, so let's go to the book and start.
Okay, cool.
We're gonna be on page 209. We're in the freedom of the body. It was great. I had worked on some stuff from this section that I thought was really great, and promptly forgot about it and left it at home.
That's exactly.
So that immediately made me aware that the higher power didn't want me to share it yet. And that's just, that's the way it works. We're going to start off with page 207, paragraph 23, page 23-10. It says, this is true of the body as well. Think of the way in which the word body is used, and this will be clear. The body politic, a body of knowledge. Belief fostered the form, and the form was meant to foster the belief. Thus, belief and form have a symbiotic relationship. Understanding that belief and form have a symbiotic relationship, understanding of this loving relationship can help you to experience freedom of the body, which is an extension in form of your belief in your personal I. Belief fosters union. Belief fosters union. Union does not foster belief, because in unity, belief is no longer required. So belief fostered the union of atoms and cells into the form required by the belief in the separated self. Belief of another kind can foster the creation of form of another kind. Notice I'm continuing to go, even though it's a possibility that most of you or some of you might be saying, what the hell is this mean? Okay, that's okay. If that's where you're at right now, just stay there. Just stay there.
Yeah.
If form is an extension of belief, you can see why what you believe is critical to how you live in form. Okay, so your physical form, your physical body, the physical reality that you're in right now is an extension of your belief. The physical reality that you're in right now is an extension of your belief. And so it's critical. What you believe is critical. So why do you think what you believe is critical? Why do you think that what you believe is critical?
Because if we believe in the body, the body is part of the dream. And if we believe in the body, we're wrong.
And why is what you believe critical? What you believe, why is what you believe about anything critical?
Because I'm just going to go back to, because there is only abundance and truth and love, and there is no death, and that's critical.
Yeah.
That's critical for having heaven on earth.
Thank you. Okay, why is it
and believing in the body and believing in the foibles and the flaws and the way I speak, although I like the way I speak. Anyway,
Me too.
That's why I heard I want to share all the laugh.
I'm sure many a female has crumbled beneath that. I was crumbling a little bit myself, and I don't even normally crumble this way.
I'm surprised you didn't melt. I just can't even believe it.
I couldn't hardly hear what you were saying.
God in heaven.
I almost couldn't hear what you were saying.
But if we believe in these
Okay, everybody, please give Brad your attention. Everybody, please give Brad your attention.
Okay,
Thank you.
Sorry.
Please give him your
But
attention.
if I believe in these dreams, in these things, this facade that is myself, I'm not living a full life. I'm not. In fact, I don't even think I'm living a life. And so coming to these courses and listening to you gets me a little bit more into reality. And I've started to care less about the way I look, care less about what, and he can tell you about physical, how I'm doing physically and stuff like that, getting up in age and stuff, and laugh about it and smile about it and things just are getting better.
Right.
Life is getting better because I'm getting away from the dream just a little bit. My belief system is getting a little teeny bits closer to the truth. Love, abundance, truth, the American way.
So are you through bragging?
No, I'm sorry. Did that come off like bragging? I'm sorry.
Yeah, you should know me better than to think I would be insulting you.
Okay.
You ought to know me
Yeah.
well enough that I wouldn't be saying anything demeaning to you in any way. So
Okay,
anybody that went, oh, you don't know me. That's all it means. You don't know me. It's like when somebody's like, if I'm dealing with somebody in a relationship type of issue, when I hear something that they're saying that sounds like it's something that's a little painful or a little off, the first thing I try to remember is who just said it. Is the person that just said this to me somebody that I really feel doesn't have my best interest at heart, doesn't love me, doesn't care? Well, if I really feel like that person is somebody that cares about me, then there's a good chance I've misunderstood what I just heard them say, because they wouldn't say something to hurt me. So instead of getting mad at them about what they said, I need to be willing to realize I'm probably making a mistake, because this person would never say something to try to hurt me if they're really my friend. So it's really, if you know the person, you ought not be having a hard time about whether or not to believe what they say. If that's the kind of people you're around, you need to get away from around them.
Yeah.
I'm serious. If you're around people that all you're doing all the time is trying to figure out whether or not they're sincere, what are you doing around somebody that you feel that way about? Trying to figure out whether or not you should trust them or not? That's crazy.
That's crazy.
But I see it happening all the time. I used to do it. Be trying to hang out with people that I'm trying to develop trust for.
Ooh, talk to us.
Hang out with the people I trust. And I'm not going to trust them any more than I trust myself. And I realize I don't trust myself. So that's what I'm working on. Everybody in my life is so lucky right now because I'm not concerned with them at all.
Yeah.
I'm concerned about having everything in me that's messed up corrected so that I can be a loving being. And then that correction is going to benefit all my friends. I'm just going to I'm taking all the focus off of them. So that way they can see they're the ones who are making their own lives the way their lives are. And they can't blame me because I'm not interfering. That's why people don't like to be single. They can't blame nobody.
Absolutely.
By yourself, who you going to blame for your unhappiness? But if you got somebody else, you got a ready target.
Yeah.
You can skip responsibility for your happiness for a long time. It's your fault. If you just do it different, I'd be really, really happy. But if I'm by myself, who am I blame? The dog?
Yes, I do that.
Yeah, and some people blame their dog.
Or the cat.
If you didn't just mess on the floor, I'd be happy, right? Yeah. My dog didn't mess. So, it's like, I need to realize that everything that needs to be corrected is in my own mind and nowhere else. And anybody that doesn't help me believe that, they're not helping me. Somebody who would reinforce the idea that I'm a victim of what somebody else is doing to me, and they feeling all sorry and telling me how it's so pitiful that people do me that way. That is not my friend. That is my enemy. Now they may not be intending to be my enemy, but they're my enemy because they are reinforcing the idea that I have no power as a child of God and I'm a victim of everything that's going on around me. That's not what you do for a friend. So your belief is critical to the form of the life that you have. Your physical life is a reflection of your belief system. And everything that's happening in your physical life right now is happening because of your belief system. And everything that's not happening. You don't have to believe this or you can believe it. So we don't have no pressure. All that's cool, right?
Right.
All right, so y'all all right with me, right? You don't have to believe anything I'm saying. It's all right. It's okay. What I'm doing is saying what I want to learn and what I want to remember because that's how you learn. And then you like hope everybody in the room can benefit from it. But it's not really about converting anybody. I'm already converted. So I just want to remember what I've converted to. And I'm trying to convert to something more loving. See what I mean? So I'm already converted. I'm not trying to convert anybody. I just know I want to be more loving.
Did what I say make any sense?
It made complete sense.
Yeah.
You said you were because of the way. Basically, what I heard was because of the way that you change your belief and the way that you therefore look at things, that your life is getting a lot better. And you believe you're getting a little bit more away from the dream and into reality.
And part of that is exactly what you said. I have actually stopped hanging around people that I can't.
Yes.
I don't know where they are. I feel off balance with them, and I'm hanging around people that are loving, and I know what they say is exactly what they mean.
And if they don't mean it by accident, which some of us, sometimes we don't always do what we say, because of the way you feel about them, you will forgive it. It is easy to forgive someone you love. It's only hard to forgive people you don't love. So who is the person you're having a hard time forgiving? The person you don't love. The one you're not allowing love to come through. That's when I said don't love, I don't mean you giving the love. I'm saying you have to allow the love. But we got to start being honest with ourselves. It's easy to forgive who you love because somebody you love, you realize there's nothing to forgive. Because you know nothing happens to you except that you choose it. And since nothing happens to you except that you choose it, there's nobody to blame. So there's nothing to forgive. Now, I'm surprised at some of the things I've asked for. I'm surprised at some of the things I've called to myself in my life. It's like, I remember being an innocent little boy getting my bicycle on Christmas Day when I was 10 years old. It was the kind of bicycle I always, it was better than the bicycle I even imagined, being a poor kid in the ghetto. Promptly got on that beautiful bicycle and went out in the street and got hit by a car. And then spent the rest of the day in the hospital and 3 months laid up. That's how much guilt I felt about that bicycle. So what I saw I have to learn at an early age was how to receive my good without punishing myself afterwards. Giving myself something good and then giving myself something I call bad afterwards. Anybody familiar with this pattern? Yeah, that's exactly what I'm learning. I'm learning how to, right now so many cool things are coming at me in my life that I'm trying not to kill myself.
That's right.
Every day Earl prays to me. He's like, you know, he's like, part of him, he is walking around like, where's the piano? I know the piano is on the way. I know it's coming because I heard somebody playing it. Some of y'all know what I'm talking about.
Earl, I have a question, but first of all, I think this little gal has a question.
Oh, I'll listen a little longer because I think it's going to answer.
Does the word union relate to the belief that we're all the same, we all derive from the source?
Yeah.
Then, I was just reading this paragraph here. Union does not foster belief.
Right. Union is not called union. Union doesn't have anything to do with belief, because when you are really joined, you know it.
Got it.
When you really join with somebody and you really join, you know it. You don't believe it, you know it.
Yeah.
which is and the course defines knowing as absolute certainty. So he says when you say you have knowledge of something, you're saying you have absolute 100% certainty of it. That's what knowledge is. And he says, but perception is not certainty, because perceptions constantly change. So that's the difference between perception and knowledge. If it's knowledge, nothing changes it. If it's perception, it changes all the time. So are we in a world of knowledge? Or are we in a world of perception based on that definition? Are we in a world of knowledge, or are we in a world of perception? We're in a world of perception. Why? Because it always changes. Now, has everyone noticed that everything always changes?
Yes.
Has everyone noticed that everything always changes? Okay, let it. Stop fighting it. Stop trying to make the temporary permanent. Because what it means is everything can always change for the better. That's what change means. Whatever it is you think you're going through, it can change and become even more loving. It can become better. So welcome change. Stop fighting change, because all the changes that you're going through right now are trying to take you to a more higher, loving state. All the pain that you go through in the process is coming from your resistance. The pain is coming from resisting the inevitable change that's got to happen for you to have what you want, because you're saying there's something that you want that you don't have, so something's got to change for you to have it.
Yeah.
So stop fighting the change that's trying to produce what you've been praying for. Stop resisting it. If that person leaves, let them go. If that job leaves, let it go. Whatever's happening in your finances, let it go. Whatever's happening in your relationships, let it go. Let it change. Let it go.
Hey, Superman.
Perfect music.
Okay, now your question and then I'll get yours.
This kind of goes back, and you kind of touched on it. I'm figuring out, well, it's cool because you know how you say you come here for that one thing that you needed, and then bam, there it was. And you brought up trust, and I've been noticing lately, like, I have some issues with that. But what I'm wondering.
I did in 1977.
What?
I did in 1977. I had an issue with trust one day.
One day, I know. I mean, that's common, I'm
Just
sure.
one day.
Now,
But I know, I watch myself be really apprehensive around displays of love and, you know, everything we're talking about. Like, but what I want to know is when you say, you know, you're good friends, you know that it's your perception because you know they would never harm you. So is that just me being aware because I trust them? But I seem to have all these trust issues with these people.
Well, they're the proof that you have the capacity to trust.
Huh?
They are the proof
Yeah.
that you have the capacity to trust.
So it's
Because-
not my inner soul telling me not to trust the people I don't trust.
The people that you don't trust, you shouldn't trust, because you can't trust them, because you can't. Because you can't. If I'm looking for the part of you that's not trustworthy, I will meet and draw out of you the part that seems like it's not trustworthy. So my physical reality is going to always reflect my belief back to me, even if the belief isn't true. You could be trustworthy, and I'd make up in my mind that you were deceiving me in some way, even if you weren't at all, because I'm the one who doesn't trust. So how could I be the one that doesn't trust unless I don't trust?
Because I'm not trustworthy?
It's because you're not trustworthy that you don't trust people, because you think they can be like you.
Okay, I want to fix it.
You're fixing it just by recognizing that you're the one that's creating the whole scenario. It's starting with your own lack of trust in yourself. So you're developing trust in yourself now. So therefore you are doing everything that's required to eventually trust others and be able to trust others. It starts with you. And coming to these classes and things like that is your way of symbolically showing you're trying to trust yourself now. And you can always trust any teacher that tells you, go within. You are free, do it the way you want to.
Okay.
Follow your heart. That's what you want to listen to. Somebody's telling you, go, you lead you. Because, you know, I just got too much to do that I want to do. I don't have time to be nobody's leader. You know, You know, why?
No, I like that.
You know, you say, why be a leader? I mean, good God, you know, everybody crucify you when they want to be the leader. And then they're mad at you when they want to be the follower and you not being the leader. Forget the leader follower thing, you know. I just want you to walk beside me. Then I'm not alone. What was your question? And then we'll go to the next part.
You were talking about
I
forgiving.
love this dialogue, by the way.
You were talking about forgiving. It's easier to forgive somebody you love.
Mm-hmm.
What jumped in my mind was I must be selfish because sometimes I forgive people because I want something from them. I'm looking for something from them.
That's a
so
cool.
then I forgive them
Mm-hmm.
because then I'm not slighting myself because I have an ulterior motive.
Well, you won't practice none of this truth stuff unless you see how it's to your own advantage.
Right.
Because the truth is using our own old selfish nature to free us. Like the truth knows that we look out for ourselves first. So the truth is coming to us and saying, if you apply this to you, it'll make your life peaceful and better. It's like it's using our own desire for self-preservation to our advantage. So it's great if you're forgiving somebody because you think you'll get something out of it. What you will get out of it is peace, prosperity, abundance, health. Everything you want comes out of forgiveness. I'm gonna tell you, this is the way I feel. There could be, if I'm starving and the guy walks up to me that hates black people, but he still give me some food, I don't care.
Right. Yeah.
So you don't have to like me as long as you treat me nice. You can hate my guts, but if you're a phony, which means you hate my guts, but you're gonna act like you like me, well then you're gonna take me out to dinner. Treat me like you really care about me. At my end of it, I'm going, wow, this is a great steak. Thank you. Even if you hate me, this is a great meal. And then he's acting like he likes me, so he's gonna be pleasant to be with. I win, even if he's insincere.
It's so funny. Because we're always afraid of being the fool.
Yeah, but you never. If you know you're responsible for your experience, you're never afraid that somebody's going to take advantage of you because even if they do, it's because you wanted them to. So you're still the one in control. You know, I know it's a lousy relationship, but I planned it that way.
That's right.
You think a relationship can be this pathetic without careful planning? You got to make sure you do everything wrong, say everything wrong. That takes concentration to do it all wrong. So this relationship isn't working because I'm devoted to pain. I couldn't hurt myself enough by myself. I needed a partner. So I whoop my butt and then I come home to you and you whoop it too. Boy, this is a marriage made in heaven. And so one day you wake up and say, wait a minute, instead of having relationships that I use to whoop my behind, what if I allow myself to have relationships that help increase my power and their power and our joy and our peace and our happiness? That would be the kind of relationship I'd like to hang out in. But the problem is I can never be in a relationship like that unless I'm like that. And that's the catch.
Yeah.
See, I think I can be my same old crappy self and get all the good stuff. I'm waiting for everybody to be so nice that they overlook me. So then they'll invite me to the party even though I think I don't deserve it. Because they're so loving, they wouldn't exclude me. So I can't lose by being around loving people because they're going to treat me good no matter how pitiful I am. The problem is, it's going to scare me to death.
Yeah.
I'm going to be the one terrified being in a room full of loving people because I don't trust anybody and they're being really, really loving and nice, so I'm scared half to death because I know they must really be a whole cult of fraud people.
Yeah.
It's not just one person that can hurt me. I'm sitting in a whole room full of kooks. Some people come here and think that. Somebody might be thinking that here right now. If I can just get out of here in just about an hour and go get me a beer, I'll be all right. All that stuff he's saying you can get through and meditate. You know, that's what you tell yourself when you believe your happiness is outside of yourself.
Yeah.
You come up with the thing that you think is going to satisfy you, and then you try to manipulate everybody into helping you create your dream, even if they don't want to. And if they don't want to do it, I'll say you don't support me, and we have to go to therapy. Why? Because you won't let me control you and make the whole purpose of your life to please me. You selfish dog. Y'all know we do that.
Yeah.
You know we do that. We call it our dreams. And so we're looking for the person who can help us create it. It's critical what we believe, because every time you come up with things that you want to experience that involve somebody else, you probably taking it the long way. You want to ask for the stuff you can do right now, where you are right now, the way you are right now. You don't want to set up a thing where everything's got to change before you have what you want. You want to ask that what you want can find you where you at.
Yes.
That's why when you lost in the woods, they said, stay put. We'll find you. That's what your good is saying to you. Stay, but every time your good try to get to you, your good trying to get to you, then you're over here. I think my good is over. Your good's trying to get to you. No, I think my good's over here. Right here. Then the good trying to get to you. No, I think my good is over. And you know where you be looking for your good. Your good's trying to get to you, because your good see you. You don't see it, obviously. You know, right? We admit we don't see our good all the time. Is that right? So the truth is saying, well, the universe is good. The good sees you. So now your good is trying to get to you, but you won't stay still. You always trying to figure out the thing that's going to make you happy. Your good, you're trying to, and then you over there. Then your good's got to you over. I think it's going to be in this person. So you go to, oh, I think it's going to be in that situation. Oh, your good's trying to get to you. Be still so your good can get to you. Admit you don't even know what your good is.
That's right.
Admit you've been using trial and error and it hasn't been working too good. I think I'll try him. Oh, I think I'll try her. Oh, I think I'll try her. I've been doing it since I was in the 2nd grade. It started when I was in the 2nd grade. Her name was Ernie Houston. Yeah, she was my first bit. She was named Ernie. I thought I just had such a crush on her.
She the dollhouse one?
Yeah, she's the one I bought the dollhouse for. And then I got scared because I was too bashful and I gave it to the teacher.
She never knew.
Yeah. This has been the first time I kissed Ernie. And it was like after we was out of high school. Because everybody, when I went to school, everybody started out together in the 1st grade and pretty much graduated together. So you had a chance to really get to know each other. And it was greater than I could have imagined. Because I believed it was.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? I'd had other kisses.
Yeah.
But I gave this kiss more meaning than any kiss has ever had.
Yeah.
This was an Ernie kiss.
Ooh.
I waited 12 years for an Ernie kiss. Then I realized maybe I was a little attached and possessed. But when it took 12 years, Ernie thought she was being stalked. But anyway, I never let my subject matter get in the way of what I have to say. So forgive me as I go back to the material. But you gotta admit, Ernie was fascinating, wasn't she?
Yes, she was.
After everybody was like, yeah, because see, what I found out is that there's always been loving people in my life all the time, loving me, trying to love me, wanting to give me everything I wanted as long as I've been on this freaking planet, but I didn't see it because I was messed up.
Right.
So I was always around beings trying to love me. I was so full of guilt, anger, fear, and insecurity that I couldn't even see them. So as I studied the truth and began to wake up and I see all the love that's all around me that's already been there, it humbles me. And sometimes I cry at traffic lights and people look at me strange when they see this black dude over there. They look around. And when people see a black dude with tears in his eyes, they think he might be ready to go postal. So they zoom off from the traffic lights, you know. Oh my God, this black man crying. Got it. So anyway. It's fun being black. You ought to try it.
I think we have.
Yeah, that's right. Me and you, I remember we was in Africa. I remember you dancing around the fire.
I could,
Y'all can picture Bunny dancing around the fire. Could y'all picture that?
Woo!
So, see, we've been here many minutes. Do you really think this is the only suit of clothes you've ever worn that you're calling your physical body? I mean, you really think this is, do you think you would get this messed up in one lifetime?
No way.
Do you really think it just took one lifetime to get us to the point that we in the world today? This is a community that's been coming and going together for a long time. Now, do you need to believe this in order to benefit from the truth? Of course not. You don't have to believe in anything that you can't prove. Really, you know.
Believe in anything.
But
Of course,
if we find the truth in this lifetime, is there a good chance it's going to be there in the next?
Yeah, truth is permanent. That's why I have a good time right now, because I know what created me is eternal, so it'll always be there. But all this stuff here is temporary, so I'm trying to enjoy it as much as I can before I get out of here.
There you go.
See, I don't know what y'all's strategy is. My strategy is I was born in the physical body, in the physical world, and I'm going to try to experience it with as much pleasure and joy and abandon and adventure as I possibly can, because I know it's not going to last, it's not going to be all the time, and I'm no longer falling for all that guilt and sin stuff that keeps you from playing.
Yeah, right.
Everybody's so busy trying to make sure they're not doing something wrong, they ain't doing nothing. Time is ticking away, they're going to be dead before they know it. Never even danced on top of the table one time with a lampshade on their heads. It's a shame for you to miss that opportunity to experience puking on everybody's head. It's a lot of experiences in the physical world that we don't let ourselves have, and we're especially terrified of sex. That's our very favorite fear of all, is sex. So by definition, sex must be nothing. The course teaches anything that means so much to us must be something that really doesn't mean anything really at all. So stop making yourself feel guilty about something you do in the body that's not going to last anyway. So you should make sure that you're only doing what you feel innocent about, because when you don't feel innocent, you punish yourself for whatever you do. Not that what you're doing is bad, but you're going to punish yourself, because we've been taught that good people punish themselves when they do things that are bad. So if you're a person that really wants to be a really good person, you'll kick your butt a whole lot. So if you're a good person right now and you think you're bad, you probably got drama on top of fear, on top of lack is going on in your life right now, because you're a good person who's punishing yourself.
Yeah.
So I would like to ask you to stop spending your time punishing yourself through guilt and start creatively, passionately expressing yourself through your physical body, in the physical world, exploring this dimension, because you will not always be in this dimension. So enjoy it, check it out.
Yeah.
Stop thinking that something is wrong with having a physical body and being in a physical body, in a physical environment, and that being spiritual means you do no longer really enjoy the sensuality, the aliveness, the beauty, and the senses of the physical body. It's just about, are you going to use your body to make you feel guilty and afraid, or are you going to use your body to make you feel innocent and loving? But your body is neutral. And you can tell what you've chosen by how other people treat you. You can tell what you've chosen for yourself by how other people treat you, even though it's up to you how you want to see it. So you really want to know how you feel about yourself, it's the way other people are treating you. That's deep, isn't it?
Thank you, baby. That's deep.
That's deep. Because you'll fool yourself. You'll say, I really, really love myself, but everybody around me is abusing me. If you see everybody around you as abusing you, then that's how you are doing you. And so it's time for you to make another choice.
Because that's how you're perceiving it?
Because the way you're perceiving it is what's causing you to see them as abusing you. The way you feel about yourself is causing you. It's like most people are afraid of love.
Yeah.
Most people are completely afraid of the love they're asking for. So when it shows up, they don't recognize it. And they are attracted to those who fear them and hurt them. So, yeah, I like when I was in high school, I sometimes had girlfriends break up with me because they said I was too nice.
Too nice.
It was so weird to have somebody say, "You're just too nice." And then later on it made sense to me. Because if they didn't believe they deserved to be treated in a loving way, then actually I would not turn them on. They would be turned on by the guy who was rough and disrespectful and abusive and just saw him as bodies. And I would see them with guys like that all the time. It would be funny. It would be like, I had a buddy who didn't care anything about women really at that time. I was a teenager. It was really like a body experience that he wanted to have. He was innocent. That's where we were programmed to a certain extent in the male body. But it was interesting to me that he seemed to really care less about the women than any girls or anything, and he had more girls than he could even get around to, and he didn't care. And so I would see that sometimes in my life. It looked like when I was detached and didn't really care, and I was okay. That's the people who would try the hardest to love me. And then it was like the people that I wanted to most, pursued the most, and was the most attached to, were the ones who would move away from me. And because the Course says, in this world we play the game of seek and do not find. That when you don't love yourself like you should, you always want what's unavailable because you're afraid to have what you want.
Yeah.
So if you're afraid to have what you want, if you are really afraid to have what you want, you're going to always go after what you can't have. You won't see the person that's loving you right here, right now, in front of your face, because you could have them. That's why a lot of personal, special relationships and marriages, it seems like people say, well, you know, how come this person looked outside of this relationship for the love? It's because they didn't know a lot. In many cases, they don't know how to appreciate what they can have. It's what they can't have, or is forbidden, that is attractive to the person that's afraid to have what they want. So the first thing that we need to learn how to do is let go of any blocks to having what we want and receiving what we want from within ourselves. That when you do that, then everything you want, you will see it when it shows up, you will recognize it, and you will allow yourself to have it right now. I can tell just as good when someone walks up to me that I should join with now, and when I meet somebody that I know I should not have intimacy with. I'm mostly within 5 minutes of conversation or less, because sometimes there are soul recognitions. Do you know that? That sometimes you can meet people that they trust you right off the bat, and they're 100% open to you right off the bat on every level.
Yeah.
And it don't mean that the woman is a hoe.
Wait a minute.
And so,
Not necessarily.
no. It's like if you were really doing it
There's
the way
good hoes,
if you really.
there's loving hoes.
Well, actually,
Sorry.
no, I agree with you completely. I hope,
they really
if I'm
are.
not mistaken, is there anybody in here that's not a child? Do we have to talk like children?
No,
Okay,
not at all.
so the minute you start talking real and say stuff that people say in the world, especially in a spiritual environment, you can watch the energy shift. When I wanted to get real, I want classes that are real. I want to talk about hoes.
Yeah.
I want to talk about anything in my classes.
Let's talk about hoes.
Right. Now, the first thing to remember is that it's just a concept and it's just an idea that you're giving a meaning to. And the meaning you're giving to the word hoe is determining how you're feeling right now. And if you feel guilty, it's because you're trying to punish yourself about a word that somebody said. Now, what kind of sense do that make? I say a word, you beat yourself up with the word by you making yourself feel pain, because I don't feel no pain behind saying hoe. So why should you beat yourself up over something I said? And I watch people doing it, they call it judgment. It's like, I'm judging you, and I'll just beat my own brains out, because that's what judging is doing. I'm the only one that's feeling my judgment. The other person isn't feeling it at all. So therefore, I'm taking what that other person said, I'm giving it a meaning that causes me pain, and I'm calling them crazy. Belief is critical. Belief is critical. What you believe is critical. If you believe that words can hurt you, then you demand that everybody only say the words that make you feel good, and you become the ultimate control freak. You lose you lose awareness of everyone you know, because all your friends hide from you because they don't want your judgment. So you're walking around people that you don't even know how they really are, because they're so afraid of your judgment, and you think that you know them. They disappear, and then you go, what happened to them? They got away from around Judge Judy. You know, the person that's got so many rules about how everybody should act around them. You can't curse around me, you can't do this around me, and you can't do that around me, and you can't think this over here around me, and you better do this over here. And you wonder why you alone on Saturday night. Everybody know they need to be away from you to have fun.
Oh, that's so bad.
If you're lonely, it's because you're afraid of joy.
Man, this brings back a lot of Rico Sando, Nancy Black. Oh my God! I mean, the women, girls that loved me at an early age, gave everything to me, and just all that kind of stuff. And even back then, I can now relate to the feeling of responsibility, the responsibility of love. Responsibility of love scared the shit out of me because that's the biggest. To me, besides hoes, that's really the biggest
I'm
response.
glad we hit a spot in you that needs to have a little
Think about how hoes feel about themselves.
Right.
But that was the biggest responsibility, was the responsibility of love. Because the responsibility of love, I mean, these girls were just giving it to me. I mean, and just, I want to be your friend. I want to be, whatever. The two young be lovers, stuff like that. But I want to be your friend. Let's go trick or treating together. All this kind of stuff. Just beautiful, beautiful, sweet girls. And I was afraid because the responsibility of loving them back, and that's what when you're talking about the responsibility and the fear and all this stuff like that. It's responsibility of love, and that's fucking insane.
That's always the conclusion that you come to when your mind heals.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's like how can you tell that when your mind is really healing? When you look at the world and go, this is friggin' insane.
This is too insane.
This attack is insane. This separation is insane. The pain we give each other is insane. Not taking care of each other is insane. Not having compassion for each other is insane. Anybody that opens their eyes and is not burying their heads in the sand will recognize that they live in a world that is not reflecting real love for real. That's unconditional. That's gonna always be there no matter what. And most of them, even when they're saying they know they're experiencing love, know in their heart that love is conditional and that they would take that love away tonight if that person did certain things to them. We do not know what love is. And so love wants to show us what it is, which is the easy way. That's like love finding you. Never say you're going to go out and find a partner, find a mate, find a friend. No, you want to ask them to find you.
Yeah.
What would it take for the perfect partner to find me in ways beyond my wildest imagination through the higher power? That's the way you put it. What would it take for it to find me in ways beyond what I could think of? Because you don't want to be limited to the highest thoughts you can think of. You don't want to be limited to what the best situation you can think of. That's limited as heck. You want somebody nicer than the person you could imagine. You want a person that's more kind than anybody you could imagine. Because some people, they think a kind person would be a person who only hit them 10 times when they used to hit them 30. They would say, you're kinder to me than the last person I was with because they used to beat me up every day, but now you just beat me up on Thursday. So you are much more loving than the man I was with. That's a person whose idea of love and improvement must be overruled by spirit. So that nobody hits them at all, which would be something better than they could have even thought of because they thought they just deserved a little butt whipping once a week. You understand what I'm saying? We don't know what our best interests are. An enlightened being knows that. An enlightened being isn't busy all day trying to come up with everything they can think of to make themselves happy. An enlightened being is saying everything that does make me happy, come through me right now and do your thing. That's what an awake being is doing.
Yeah, baby.
That's why we're here, so that we can learn how a mind operates that's tired of suffering, that's tired of having conflict and pain. That's why we're here. So somebody can tell us that, that you deserve to have what you want. And it's easy to have if you realize that belief is what makes form. That your belief creates your physical experience. But we're not aware of all our beliefs. So when you say that couldn't be true because I don't believe that, you are assuming that you know all of your thoughts, that you are aware of all of your thoughts. And the Course teaches that we're not aware of all of our thoughts. That's why we suffer, because we don't realize beneath that so-called I love you is I hate your guts. But we're too nice to admit that we have those kind of thoughts from the things we think we've gone through since we were a child. So what we do now is we say, I'm innocent and I like everybody. And then beneath that is that abused, little hurt, insecure self that hates and afraid of everybody. And it hates everybody, just like you think you love everybody. And then you meet these people who seem to hate you, but you don't understand where they're coming from. And it's your own subconscious hate that needs to be looked at and released so that it will no longer create physical people who attack you or hurt you. They're coming from your own subconscious thoughts of fear that you don't know are there because you're telling yourself you love everybody and you nice. Yeah, you're nice, but underneath the niceness is a butt kicker who's upset, who's afraid, who hasn't forgiven some people for some things that have happened to you. And if you want to get rid of that pain in your life, stop acting like it's coming from somebody else.
Okay.
Even if you don't believe it. Even if you don't believe it. Say it anyway.
Yeah.
I don't know how I created this situation that I'm in right now. But I'm going to give it to the Holy Spirit to have power. But I want another way to look at this. I don't know how I created that relationship that I just got through. I'm not going to even spend all day trying to figure out how I created it. I just want another way to look at it so this never repeats itself again. And I'm not going to fight the answer when it's coming to me. I'm not going to spend all night trying to find a hole in the premise. You know, it's like everything you say, can I find a flaw? I'm looking for a flaw in that idea. You know what? I don't quite get that idea. You know, it's like you don't have to get inside with it. You don't have to get inside with it. You don't have to get inside with it. I say you deserve to be happy under all circumstances. Don't try to figure out how that can happen. Go, yes, I'm willing for that to happen.
Ooh, baby. Yeah.
That's all. That's what believe means. To believe means to side with. When you say I believe you, you say I'm going to side with what you're saying. When I was a kid, we used to say, are you on my side? We used to say that all the time. Whose side you on?
Whose side you on?
So are you going to side with the idea that you are innocent and you're powerful and that you're not a victim? Or are you going to side with the idea that everybody's doing everything to you and you're weak in a little body that's going to die one day? What you going to side with? Because your belief creates the form, and your life is going to reflect your belief. And if you believe that you should suffer, and that suffering is real, and it's the ultimate reality, you will create a life of suffering. And your world will reflect that back to you. But it's not because the universe hates you. It's because you're just getting what you asked for, because that's what the universe does.
Yeah.
It gives you what you ask for. Most people just don't know what they're asking for. That's it. You're innocent. You're not doing anything. You're not bad. You just learned some insane crap.
Yeah.
We all learn some insane crap. People say they're having trouble with young people nowadays. It's because young people want us to stop jiving them and tell them the truth about what's really going on. Not pass down the same crazy stuff we went through to them and limit and restrict them even more.
Yeah.
When I was a kid, my mother would say, don't go out of the neighborhood. These little kids can't even go out on the porch.
Right. Woo.
They can't do nothing. They're going to go out in the world and just be freaking out because they never get a chance to test their own strength. Make some few mistakes. Skin your friggin' knee. You will survive. You can't protect your children from every single solitary possibility that could ever happen to them. You have to free them. You have to trust. I don't know why I said all that, but I said it. It just needs, you know what I'm saying? It's like we're doing our teenage self an injustice. We're not being real with them.
Yeah.
They accept stuff that I'm teaching like this much quicker than so-called adults do.
Yeah.
Because adults have been taught that the sign of your wisdom is how much you don't listen to nobody else. Do you know that people are so egotistical that they don't want an answer that didn't come from themselves?
Oh my.
That if somebody else could give them the answer, they don't even want it. They're so sure they got to come up with everything by themselves. We are a trip, but we're so cute.
Juicy.
And we're so juicy, but crazy as hell. And we know anybody can be loved because we're being loved, and we know we don't know how to love yet. We have loving relationships, even though we know we're afraid and jealous and insecure sometimes. We already are experiencing unconditional love Because even with our so-called shadow sides and flaws, there's somebody that's caring about us. That we even know. We know them. That's the proof. Wow.
Wow.
Yes, brother.
Now,
Yes.
I wanted to go back to what you said, that like, if we admit something and we're saying that, wow, that's insane, that we're making progress. And I was talking to someone before today's class, and I was saying that that there's a part of me that still, well, I still seek specialness, because, you know, that voice in me tells me that, you know, I can't trust God that He's going to give me something better, so I need to seek specialness. But yet, that is what is keeping me from getting what I want.
And as long as you begin to recognize that's what the problem is, then you're going to stop one day. As a matter of fact, let me give you a way to look at it. Look at it as if you've already stopped. And now you're dealing with the after image of what you used to be like. If everybody tonight was to say, I am accomplished, I have actually forgiven myself, I'm going to declare that I am now a loving being. And everything that I see in myself and anything else that seems like it's not loving is just the after image of the way I used to be fading away. If you were to take that perception, it would make such a difference in your world, it would freak you out. It's not saying you're not going to still see crazy stuff, but you're not going to see it as a presently generated idea anymore. It's not coming from your belief. Even if you see attack, you know that's not your goal anymore, so you know you're just seeing the after image of the way you used to be. You're another person now, but you're going to still, it's just like cutting off a television and watching the image fade away. You know you cut it off, but you also see the image on the screen fade away. That's what's happening. The image of your lack is fading away. The image of being alone is fading away. The image of not being supported is fading away. You're still sometimes fooled by the image that's not completely gone from the television set yet, even though it's been turned off. You've already changed, or you would have never showed up in this class, because by the time you show up in a class like this, you've already changed, because what's happened physically is coming from your thoughts. So if you were physically in a class that's telling you that you're innocent, you already believed it before you got here. Because the thought comes before the physical reality. This is not coming first, this came second. You already love yourself enough to hear what I'm telling you, because you're hearing me say it. So sometimes you're going to still see a little evidence of your insanity, like most of the time. And as that happens, you need to remind yourself that that is the way I used to be. That's a reflection of the thoughts I used to want to generate in my life. See, who in here wants to side with an idea like that? Please raise your hand. Whoever doesn't, that's okay. So side with it. Side with it. Okay. Okay, it was somebody else. I'm gonna have to wind it down though, because it's 5 minutes to 8, so I'm gonna try to do it really quick.
So, what do we do about hidden subconscious beliefs if we don't even know they're there?
How would you like to get in touch with your hidden subconscious beliefs that you don't know are there? Anybody here? Okay. Everything you see in the world, those are your hidden subconscious beliefs. Everything you're saying that is not you and your belief, that is your subconscious belief. So if you wonder what your hidden beliefs are, they're the world that you're looking at when you walk out of this door and you go, my goodness, I see this kind of person and that kind of person. When you're looking at your own hidden beliefs, what do you do with that? All you do is go, those are my beliefs, and I'm asking to see it differently now. How can I see this differently? It's not about judging yourself for them. It's not about getting mad at yourself. Get rid of the beating yourself up is an answer to every problem. Okay, please, y'all, let go of this whole thing and feeling like crap about everything is the way that you deal with problems, is you just feel bad. Give that one up. It's not working. It's not working. It's okay to feel all your feelings and to know. If you could walk out of here tonight and admit to yourself that you hated somebody and you didn't feel guilty about admitting that to yourself, then you are releasing the hate and letting it go. The way you get rid of the guilty thoughts is to not feel guilty about having them. The way you get rid of a guilty thought is to not feel guilty about having it. And you admit that you have it, and then you do the right thing. You do the loving thing. Yes, I used to hate certain kind of people. Like a person who sees themselves as used to be a racist. They can say, oh yes, I used to hate black people, but now I'm choosing to look at it differently. And how do you know they're sincere? Because they can admit they used to feel that way. The person who can't admit it is the person who still got the racism. Who can talk about race is the person who's not the racist. The person who, the minute you mention race, they go to freaking out, is the racist. The one who gets most, oh, I can't believe that you said you were black. I never saw your color. And then I go, are you freaking blind? Is something wrong with your eyes? I am in a black body. It's not nothing I need to run away from, hide from, act like it's not okay. That's the fun of it. I don't want to walk up to you and say, you know, I know you're a spiritual being, but you're in a female white body. What's that like? What's it like to shave your legs that much? You know, in other words, you're gonna ask, you're gonna wanna know about it, you know? So you're gonna walk up to somebody and say, hey, I didn't grow up as a black dude in the inner city. What's that like? How did you experience blah, blah, blah? See, when you're not racist and you're beginning to see that you're one, you want to enjoy the diversity that you have with each other. You're not trying to make everybody like you. You're fascinated because they're not like you, but y'all got the same purpose, and that's what makes you one. Is that you have the same purpose, not you got the same personality, the same body, the same personal interests. That's not what oneness means at this level. At this level, it means we all share the same goal, which is to love each other, to have peace with each other. And then we got our own uniqueness, which could make us interesting to each other, but we're too busy trying to conform to some standard that miserable people set up for us. We're trying to live out miserable people's scripts and then beating ourselves up because we're not as miserable as them. So that we all look like little animatons that all look alike and walk alike and do things alike and want the same thing alike. And then the commercial tells us, you know, all of a sudden it's not okay for you to have a bald head. So now, Earl, it's not the end thing, so you better try to grow some hair even though you can't. Then you're going to be really frustrated because you can't grow no more hair in certain parts of your head. You know, but now I'm going to judge myself by all the people with a head full of hair. Y'all know we do that kind of crap. We make up a need. I said we because we're all of it. We make up a need and then we hypnotize and mesmerize ourselves into thinking that it's really an important need and then spend all our time trying to achieve a goal that was made up to sell product. It's so funny. And then all of a sudden you really aren't okay unless you weigh 90 pounds because you've just been told 90 pounds is the standard of beauty, so you beating yourself up because somebody made that up and you bought into it. Well, that's true in every area of your life that you're unhappy. It's the area that you bought into the illusion. That you're not being true to yourself. That's why you're unhappy. You're not doing what you want to do. You're doing what you think you should do, ought to do, gotta do, but not based on your heart.
I don't like either one of those areas. Baldness and 90 pounds.
So, let me stop here. Thank you, brother.
She had a
It's 8 o'clock. I gotta stop. I gotta stop. Would you give it up to you? I want people to believe that they can trust. So let's do the love offering right quick. I surely appreciate your sharing with me. And if you want to have one-on-one sessions with me called clarity sessions, that's what those orange sheets are. You can go to my website and it explains it. So we can just talk about your stuff one-to-one because it's not as original as you think.
Fantastic.
Was that too intense?
Well, it was very intense.
Was that cool?
That was very cool.
Okay. I feel like it's time for us to kick it into high gear.
Yeah, let's kick it into high gear.
That's what I'm talking about. That's right. Thank you so much. You should be a high gear cheerleader. It would be like, oh,
I don't think you talk fast enough.
well, that's why I can feel it's about time to, to try to schedule another AMT. I need more time than this.
It's amazing that you can talk that fast and I can understand every word you were saying.
That's the proof of telepathy because you think you understand a southern black dude talking. That's the proof that we have telepathy. Reading my mind.
You're black?
I'm holy. Oh my God, you must be in the clan.
I don't see color.
Oh my God, you No, what I really don't have any color, but I went to the body store before I was born, and I decided I was just going to show out this time.
Yeah, there you go.
And I just told him to take me back to the special room.
There you go.
And I got this black
You
body.
got all this rhythm.
Yeah, thank you, baby. That was the perk.
You're the ball.
Are you gonna sing now?
Could you get down to the?
Are you gonna do a little song?
I'm a tap dance too. All right, here we go.
Okay. Where's the beat?
Oh, that last was awesome.
Okay, you got your white sheet?
Yeah, right, she.
Would you please write together, those who don't mind doing it, would you say, nothing that I experience is caused by anything outside of me. I experience only the effects of my own choice. The line that's underlined. Would you say it? Nothing that I experience is caused by anything outside of me. I experience only the effects of my own choice. Let's go through all the ones that are underlined. I have done this to myself. I did it. I must correct it. No one is to blame. The world is innocent. And then go, I am innocent. I am innocent. The truth is true always. Only my creator's plan for my happiness will work together. Only my creator's plan for my happiness will work. I have done this. I must undo it.
I must do it.
But I have no idea how I did this.
How I did this.
Therefore, I must surrender to something else. Those who don't mind saying it loud, would you say it with me again? I have done all this. I must undo it. For I have no idea how I did this. Therefore, I must surrender to something else. What am I committed to communicating? What will my creations express? What will my creations convey to others? For what I seek to convey reveals what I believe is the truth of myself and to the world. I am pure spirit, undefiled and unaffected by anything or anyone. Take a breath. I am given full power to choose and therefore to create my experience as I would have it be. So there. Now, I heard of some really loving beings hanging around this body and all of these bodies. So I would love for us to acknowledge us the way we would love the world to do it.
Yeah.
How about it? Let's acknowledge us. Give it up for you. Remember, the outer is going to reflect the inner. What you give it to yourself is what everybody else is going to give to you. And so I want you to receive the best that life has to offer. I love you. Thank you. Hopefully I see you Sunday.
Awesome, dude.
That was